They should have been times beyond that, a little bit slower than seeding. But again, these times to seed it, they could be from last year. The coach might have had to figure out something. So we know that as the season progresses, they'll get more and more accurate with it. So far, though, all the heats have been pretty close, and we expect the same from Heat 5, our final heat. This is our fastest heat of the day for the girls, 800. In first, or in number 1, we see Maya Doobie of Kearsarge. I believe she already, did Maya already win something today? Doobie already win something?
I feel like she did.
Yep, coming off of her win in the mile. That's right. Thank you, Dave Zink. In 2, we've got Maggie from St. Thomas. 3, Sophie Coe-Brown. 4, Christine from Hanover. As they're off, Claire Ververka in Conval. In 5,
A little bit of contact there at the start. People are getting a little bit antsy.
Lily Doody, Oyster River in 6. 7 would be Alice Gardner of Hanover. Yeah, Claire was number 2 in the 16, so we might see another little repeat from there. Emma York of MV in 8. Ella Malone, Coe-Brown 9. Isabel from Conant 10. And Kira from Hanover wearing number 11 on her hip. So a lot of doubles here. Definitely see some athletes who are doing the 4x8 as well.
Yep, I know. Sophie Laird and Ella Malone, though they're key athletes in the Coe-Brown 4x4 and 4x8 relay teams. So,
as they enter the straightaway here, coming up on the 400, we do see Maya Doobie again in the lead.
And then we have
Claire's a little bit back, but still within her striking distance. Right on Maya Doobie's hips, though, is Christine from Hanover. As that looks like it could be a 1-2 race, and we'll see what happens.
I see Ella Malone's looking to close that gap on Sophie Laird. I know that they train hand in hand within practice, so we're going to see how that finish goes. It's going to come down to this last 100, I think, again.
Yeah, Maya Doobie, though, I tell you, she's putting the heat on right now, and she's only increasing her lead. This looks like 1 and 2 might already be decided. 3, 4, 5, 6, though, still could be moving around with it. Again, today's not team scored. However, top 6 will receive something, just like they would in a traditional meet where you'd get points for it. So everyone is vying for those spots. We're at 2:05 now. Should be a good kick now we see from Maya Doobie.
Okay.
Followed closely by Christine Amon.
We've got Sophie Laird coming up on the finish, too.
So 2:20, 2:21. Lily Doody third, 2:23.
Close race, very close race for those middle positions.
So quite a few under that 2:30 mark. And again, we've got 3 or 4 left on there, making sure they close out hard. Again, going for time at this point.
A little bit of deja vu there with the 1600 girls.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what race I was watching. A little bit faster, though. So next up, we do have our
5 boys heats.
Boys 800. There'll be 5 sections of those. Again, going slow to fast with our first section, looking to be all under 3 minutes or so.
With it being so nice, I think I'm going to watch these from mostly outside.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. So in this first section, we have Jacob Thomas, Sanborn, Noah from MV, Gio from Sanborn, Nick from Conval, Nate from Pelham, Mark from Manchester West, Gavin from Kennett, Philip from Conval, James from Pelham, Pedro from Pelham, Justin from White Mountains, Nate from Pelham, Miles from White Mountains, and William from White Mountains. So a lot of Pelham, a lot of White Mountains, a couple Sanborns in there.
Well, I think the entry to get into this heat was that you had to wear a blue jersey.
Yeah, they're not making it easy on us.
There's one Kennett wearing a black jersey, and everyone else has blue.
Yeah, we got navy blue, we got royal blue.
Yep.
I think we could score an event just on that.
A lot of trainers still on the track. I don't think it's completely dry. I'd still want to have my spikes.
Yeah, a lot of these boys probably pretty new to the sport. I'm seeing a lot of freshmen, sophomores in the mix. Might not have those spikes yet. Day like today, you might opt to change your mind.
This could be an interesting start here. The 800, when it gets crowded, can always be very interesting. A lot of pushing and shoving.
A little bit of a slip, not a whole lot. There they go.
Somebody went down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you're in the front, you've got to get out, and you can't go slow because then you really impede the runners behind you, and I think that's what happened there. Somebody got on the inside who was not intending to go all that fast, and
Noah
a
Schneider
couple of guys kind of ran him over.
Noah Schneider from MV taking the fall there.
Yep.
So they can get kind of piled up, and again, we're talking trainers, we're talking spikes. So when we are talking trainers and spikes, Dave, where would you go if you're looking to get a new pair of spikes?
I would definitely head to Runner's Alley.
Of course, you would prefer the Concord location.
Absolutely, because it's very close by.
Yeah, of course, 3 locations, Concord, Manchester, as well as Portsmouth.
The flagship. Although I will say I've probably purchased as many shoes from the Portsmouth store as I have the Concord store. Spend a lot of my summer months out on the seacoast.
Let's see if we can get a good start this time. Still a little bit of slip from our number 1 there, but that's what flats will do when you try and take off quick on a slick surface. Yep. But they made it out okay this time, as we definitely see 2 pull right away.
Yep.
And
that was our number 1 seed, Jacob. And it looked like a royal blue shirt, maybe the Pelham.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
Yeah, one of the Pelham runners.
So we'll see if we can't get a name on that when they come back around. We can take a look at the number. Obviously, the uniform identification, not the most helpful with this race, at least right now.
All blue.
Yeah, which, of course, won't be an issue for the timers here at Speed Sport Timer,
Nope.
our Meet Hub sponsor today. They're using the cameras. They're going to be able to see those hip numbers and the top numbers as well, the chest numbers. Basically, it's 2 cameras. They'll get synced up together. So if you can't see one, you actually get to see the other. And it makes it a lot easier to see it. They got some good technology going on in order to do so.
Yeah, when I was talking with Bernie Livingston from Kennett, that he said probably is the biggest change that has occurred in the sport of track and field in New Hampshire in the last 40 years.
FAT?
Is, the implementation of all of the advanced technology that we now employ.
So that is Jacob Thomas retaining the lead for Sanborn, staying out in front. I believe right behind him is Miles from White Mountain, if I saw that correctly. There's a lot of things going on at that point I was trying to keep an eye on.
He's wearing a navy blue.
Thank you.
Dark.
Thank you.
Jersey.
So it matches. It matches up, I guess.
We won't have that wrong as long as we stick to colors.
Yeah, there's a pretty good chance someone with a blue jersey will win, although you never know. We do have that one black jersey in there just to prove us wrong.
And I think one of the things that Bernie noted is because of all the advances, it means that you can get more kids into meets now, which
I don't remember this meet being this big before when I looked at entries.
And that's what we both said, that I think regardless of how other sports have impacted our individual teams, as a whole, there are more kids competing now
Jacob Thomas.
than there were even 5 years ago.
Sanborn coming in number 1, 2:35.
And that is White Mountain.
Miles.
In second. And another Sanborn in third.
Geo.
Pelham.
James.
Merrimack Valley. And then a whole bunch.
And here we go. The race to get under 3, and it looks like everyone's going to be doing pretty good at that, actually.
Yeah.
That backpack kind of stayed together.
The field gets in under 3.
2:55, so we do have a number of improvements for a few guys. 2 without times going into it, and then another 3 more. So not bad as we enter section number 2 of 5. Where number 1, we have Kyle Gable of Interlakes. 2, this name's going to confuse me. Help me out. Akis.
Attention all athletes.
Aegis.
Aegis, if he wins, we'll ask him about
Accius.
it. Plymouth Regional,
Yeah.
3, Andrew Sanborn, 4, Tim from Kingswood, 5, Mitchell from Monadnock, 6, Ethan of Conant, 7, Gabriel from Kingswood, 8, Matthew from Kingswood, 9, Chris from St. Thomas, 10, Donovan from Monadnock, 11, Jacob from Belmont, and 12, Kevin from Manchester West.
We could also just simply refer to him as Mr. Wolfley from Plymouth.
Yes. Yeah, a little bit of slipping, little pushing.
Still slipping on the
Getting that order straightened out, but
surface.
they look like they made it around okay. A few different colors and jerseys this time. Doesn't take much to beat the last heat, though. So
Yeah. You got that bright orange Conant. They're always easiest to spot.
it's always my favorite jerseys are the ones that stand out.
That's right. Lebanon's stand out quite a bit, too. They've got the horizontal stripes.
Nothing stands out like that bumblebee that
Sauhegan has?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I do like the Conval jersey stands out pretty well. Think of ones that are here today.
With the gold. The gold piping. Oh, I see which one you mean, because Conval actually has 2 uniforms here today.
Oh, do they?
Yep.
I guess those.
So that's their cross-country uniform
Yeah.
is the gold, white, and blue one.
So coming in, number 1 right now for our first lap is Ethan from Conant,
Yep.
followed closely by Tim from Kingswood and Kyle from Interlakes. They hit about 112 into the bell. And this one's spread out quite a bit. Everyone's kind of going single file. We'll see if anyone wants to challenge for a switch in spots. But right now it's really everyone's got 3 or 4 meters in between. No one's on anyone's shoulder.
Right around a 225 pace for that first 400.
Again, our leader for this heat is Ethan from Conant, the freshman. Seed time coming in today was 2:37. Top seed time for this heat would be a 2:33.99, also known as a 2:34. Sorry for taking away that 100th of a second. But the freshman coming on the straightaway, he's still looking strong. He shows no signs of slowing down. He's pumping those arms. And he is going to crush his seed time.
Strong
Again, seed time
here.
2:37.
No
Ethan
crossing.
winning
218.
2:18. That's a big jump. Right now we've got Tim from Kingswood looking to finish, followed by Andrew from Sanborn. As they both get under 2:30, they'll be the last in this heat to do it as we see Gabriel from Kingswood just over the mark as we get a slew of runners now.
241. So that'll finish the second heat. Now we'll line up our third heat, including Max Bovair from Conval, Michael Mott from Prospect Mountain, Riker Kimball from Merrimack Valley, Jared Whitcomb from Belmont, Stephen McDonald of Guilford, John Mormondo of Conant, Ben Parsons from Plymouth, Nicholas Netherly from Prospect Mountain, Ethan Weinhold from Conant, Elijah White from Conval, Noah Cavallo from Sanborn Regional, Sanjay Sood from White Mountains, and let's see if it goes on to the next page, and it does not.
That
So
should be it for this heat.
Heat 4 and 5 are next.
Arm raised up in the air. We need to take attendance, please.
Forgetting that you still need that.
Yes.
200 meter, please check in with me.
Dave was kind enough to
I'm just in my recycling environmental conservation mind right now. So.
balled up the piece of paper that still has this heat on it.
Didn't want to leave a mess for the Merrimack Valley crew to clean up.
See, now we're on section 3 of 5. I saw a little bit of slipping, but everyone is in some spikes, although I don't know if all of them actually have spikes in their shoes with the slipping that I did see.
It looks like we got some bigger bodies and spikes, so I would say we're kind of transitioning from the freshman groups into the sophomore, junior groups.
Yep, this has like,
And
I think
some
5
seniors in there,
seniors
too.
in this one.
Yep.
So this one's a pretty good mix. 5 seniors, 4 freshmen, couple sophomores, and only 1 junior. I bet you he'll be the fastest junior in this heat. Coming off of the turn, it does look like we have some pretty good separation. I believe that is Riker from MV in the lead.
In the lead, yep.
Michael from Prospect Mountain in second. Third, we do have Ethan from Conant. So we'll see if those top three can hold on to those spots as we go around. We'll take a quick look at what they're running for a split here as they reach the bell at
70.
70 seconds.
That's a 2:20 pace.
Similar to last heat, the first 4 or 5 guys are pretty spread out. No one's really on the shoulder. And then we do see for 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, all within striking distance of each other. So we'll see if there's a lead change at all in the top 5.
Please arrive now. Thank you.
Yeah, those top 4 are pretty evenly spread out. And then there's a little group at the number 5 spot.
I believe this is still Riker of Merrimack Valley in the lead, correct?
Yep.
Seed time for Riker, 2:26. We're at 2 minutes now.
He should be well under that.
Coming right onto the straightaway.
Oh, the Prospect Mountain
Ooh, that's
is making a comeback, though. That would be
Michael
Mott.
And he's passing him right now.
And he does, indeed, takes the lead from Riker.
That's a pretty big kick right there from Michael.
2:20 even.
Riker right behind him. Ethan from Conant coming in third. Now we've got actually they're lining up pretty nice for the timers.
Not too crowded.
All right, next up would be section 4 of the boys, 800 meter, 4 of 5. Our seed times now range from 2:12 all the way down to 2:24, so the 12-second spread, we should kind of expect them the same thing where they'll be kind of close to each other.
Yep.
In this race, wearing hip number 1, we've got Trevor of Conant, 2, Kevin from Lebanon, 3, Zach from Lebanon, 4, Andrew from Summersworth, 5, Theodore from Hopkinton, 6, Maxwell from Bishop Brady, 7, Josh from Conant, 8, Eli from Interlakes, 9, Owen from Conval, 10, Ethan from Merrimack Valley, 11, Deuce from Prospect Mountain, and 12, Jackson from Raymond. Again, looking at their shoes, I'm seeing a lot of flats, a couple without
More
some spikes, though.
It's like in this heat, we've got a couple of teammate pairs. We've got a pair of Conant runners and a pair of Lebanon runners.
Of course, like you were saying earlier, that Lebanon jersey is pretty
distinctive.
Yes.
Yep.
Take the mic for the next heat.
So early on, does look like there's a little bit of a battle up front. I think that might be Tyler from Monadnock up there. I could be wrong, though. Is it a Monadnock jersey?
It looks green to me.
We also
do we have is there a Pembroke in there?
Nope. Yeah, I think they're the only green.
You're in the wrong heat.
I'm in the wrong heat. Oh, it could be
It's
Bishop
Hopkinton.
Brady. Yeah.
It's Hopkinton, I think.
I was getting excited for Heat 5. As we do
That
see, it is
is
Hopkinton
Theodore.
coming on to this. Again, Theodore's seed time coming in was a 2:19.67. Followed closely behind him, we do have a pack. Trevor from Conant sticking out.
Yep.
Looks
With
like
two
he's
Lebanon
looking for the
runners
pass.
And from Interlakes,
106 at the bell.
Eli Misavage.
So that top 5, all within 5 meters of each other.
Yep. Right around their 2:12 seed pace.
Again, we have Trevor kind of challenging coming off of the turn. Looks like he is going for the pass, as he does now.
Oh.
They're still battling, though.
It's not over till it's over.
Looks like Theodore might have dropped off just a little bit as Trevor continues to power forward, taking sole possession of first, coming onto the straightaway, although it looks like he might be slowing just a hair. We'll see if the arms will help him. That's Lebanon coming up,
First Lebanon runner is moving really quick down the run straightaway.
So I think that's
Is
Kevin.
he just going to run out of real estate, though?
Yep. So Trevor, Conan. Oh. That was Trevor, then Kevin. Very close battle. Great kick from Lebanon there. What'd you get for a time on that? Right about 2:18 or so?
2:18, 2:16, 2:17.
All right, so now entering our last heat of this, our fast heat of this. Again, we're looking at times from 2:11 down to 2:04. Top 3 seeds happen to be from Cole Brown. 1, Dawson DuBois. 2, Porter Hygus. And 3, Wyatt Mackey. We've seen a bit of running from all of them earlier today, I believe. 4th, we have Keith of Kennett. 5th, Zach of Belmont. 6th, Colby Cole Brown. 7th, Tyler from Monadnock. 8, Edward from Kearsarge. 9, Gavin from Cole Brown. 10, Luke from Campbell. 11, Trevor from Campbell. 12, Brent from Kingswood. And Cole Brown is just going to run a cross-country team right about now. They have 5 of these 12 runners.
And I see a couple of Campbell jerseys there disguising themselves as Cole Brown runners.
Does look like Dawson DuBois is not going to be in this
Nope.
race as they go off to a very fast start, all vying for that top position. As we've seen, it's been pretty hard to pass in this 800. Looks like Porter Hygus of Cole Brown is leading it currently. Sophomore.
That's Trevor Scopelites or Luke Gomes,
I
rather.
know Porter of Cole Brown has been battling
second.
early season injury as well.
So Porter coming off of the turn. Porter Hygus. Again, followed by Kennett's Keith. We've got Monadnock's Tyler up there. Another notable name from the cross-country season. And they're coming into the bell at 1:03.
So Zach Enos is in second behind Porter right now. Belmont.
Oh,
a little
I
bit.
misspoke earlier.
A little bit slower in the, I would have expected their time, but being a little conservative, I think, in that first 400.
Looks like these top 2 are pushing it a little bit. Third
Yeah,
place
they're
is
now
another
separating themselves.
4 or 5 meters behind. And then we've got 3, 4, 5 all pretty close together.
There's Wyatt Mackey, though, coming up on the 2 of them.
Yeah, and I think that was his strategy going into today. Is he likes to hang back kind of in the pack and then kick it in.
Yep.
Indoor, outdoor, a little bit different situation. I think he's still getting used to running outdoor. Sophomore, but last year he was out the whole season with an
Zach's
injury.
going to move to Porter's outside shoulder.
Yeah, let's see if Porter can hold him off.
Zach is doubling back off of 1,600. And he actually just squeaks by Porter Hygus.
2:03 for Zach.
So very fast, second 400.
So some pretty good times.
Exciting.
Nice little battle there for the top 2 spots. Those guys improving their seed times on the season.
Zach getting a little redemption after his 1,600.
I think now we're going to go ahead and take a look across the track. We can see we have a whole sea of girls over there.
We've got about
14
heats of the 200, so this will be fast and furious.
Let's hope so.
First heat, we have Gracie from Kearsarge, Madison from Raymond, Emily from Hopkinton, and Alexis from Monadnock.
Can I please ask that DuBois in the 200?
Hard to see how they have their blocks set. I know I always find it interesting when I'm at the start of a 200 or a 400 where they're using blocks to see. Some athletes kind of angle it, some don't. You know, I typically like to run in a straight line as long as I can, so it's going to be that angle on the
Having
edge.
to make all right, first heat's off, having to make that abrupt turn is not the best if you're
No,
if you're having to
It's going to slow down your start.
move from the outside of the lane to the inside of the lane or vice versa. So we only have 3, so it looks like we had somebody scratch out of this one.
This looks like in lane 5, Alexis from Monadnock coming in without a seat time. See if she's happy with her 31.
Attention all athletes, this is the first and final call.
Hopkinton, that's
Fourth
Emily.
girls disc, fourth
And
flight
then
girls
Raymond's
disc. Please check
Madison
in.
coming in 3rd for our first of 14. Second section, getting ready now with their blocks. In lane 1, Ruth from Kearsarge. 2, Alyssa Raymond. 3, Emma from Kingswood. 4, Maya from Kennett. 5, Grace from Kennett. And 6, Tatiana from Conan.
Results of the girls 800-meter run. In 6th place from Conval, Sophie Laird.
So I was
Fifth
hoping
place
that
from
my
Brown.
daughter might
Sorry,
make
got
her
that wrong.
first appearance at a
Sixth
track
place
meet
from
today,
Conval,
And?
and now unfortunately she will not be.
Oh.
She will not be joining us.
Just going to wait for some fairer weather.
Yeah. Well, no, she didn't sleep a whole lot last night, and
St.
my
Thomas
wife
Aquinas,
didn't,
Maggie
or
Marsh.
nor did
Third
I.
place from Oyster River, Lily Duty.
And she is
Second place from Hanover,
taking a
Christine
much-needed nap
Ahmed.
right now,
And first
so
place for the time at
Yeah, I probably don't want to.
don't want to
2
upset
minutes, 20
the
seconds.
rhythm of the
0.6
routine right
seconds
now
from
too
Kearsarge.
much.
Junior, Maya Doobie. Nice job, Maya.
We're thinking long-term right now at this point. I'd like to enjoy our vacation a little bit.
That is right. We are entering
School vacation.
school vacation
April
for
break.
most schools in New Hampshire. We
Yep.
know it's not everyone's, but
Right.
it is ours, so we're pretty excited about that.
So I've got, this one's full, and the other one's only got 8 minutes left. Okay. So I'm going to be, if you got a mini, that'd be great.
Let me check, see if I have anything on it, and I'll clean one up and get it to you. So in this,
Full heat here.
yep, section 2 again. Looks like it is a pretty close battle between lanes 3, 4, and 5, although 5 might be a hair out right now. Again, that is Grace from Kennett. Followed closely by lane 3, Emma from Kingswood. 4 of Maya from Kennett. So those are your top 3 in that section.
So we should have heat 3 now moving into the blocks. We have Tova of Prospect Mountain, Christina from Kennett, Emily from Hopkinton, Audrey from Conant, Kylie from Campbell, and SJ also from Conant. So a couple of Conant runners in this heat. Third of 14 heats in this girls 200 dash.
I think I might have to start taking a look at what they have on their feet, because for sprinters, I'm really curious if they are going to be utilizing those spikes or not. Again, with some of our newer athletes, a lot of times we won't see them in spikes right away until they decide that they love the sport. And there we go, good start.
I see several in this heat running in trainers. We've got lane 1 is empty, so Tova from Prospect Mountain opting not to run this heat. Now, though, it looks like we've got Christina from Kennett and Kylie from Campbell.
And another pretty close heat. Next up, we got heat number 4. Who do we have in it?
Got Sadie from Conant, Ashley from Campbell, Lily from Campbell, Abby from Kennett, Lexi from Conval, and Abby from Kennett. So para Campbell, para Kennett runners in this heat. Most of these seed times are in the 33-second range. The heats are running slow to fast, so we You will see our fastest 200-meter runners at the end in heat number 14.
And another good start. See them come up pretty quick. Again, for any sprints, you have a dry phase, which is ideally 30 meters. Now for a 200, that does get shortened a little bit because of the turn. You're kind of forced upright more. And it does look like we do have Conant
Yep,
with a slight edge.
that is Sadie. And from there, it's fairly even. So Sadie wins her heat, 31 and change.
Yep.
So 2-second PR for her.
I think I saw 4 spikes and 2 trainers on the lighter side of being trainers, closer to flats, but not quite.
So as we go up in heat number, we probably will see more of the runners transitioning to spikes until we get to that very last heat where they all should be wearing
Yes,
spikes.
I will be very surprised if someone is not.
Yeah,
Just like I'd be very surprised if someone in the last heat wasn't using blocks.
correct. So we're averaging between 55 and a minute 5 per heat in between heats. Got my that was
Well,
a
there
fast
you
one.
go.
That one was only 35 seconds.
Had a nice start. Seeing some decent form. Who do we have out there?
Got Emma from White Mountain, Abby from Raymond, Gwyneth from Hanover, Alexa from Plymouth, Sarah from Goffstown, and Megan from Monadnock.
All these girls using their arms to get in. Of course, one of the tactics or things you're wanting to do with form for a
Is
sprint.
to lean forward, and you really, really want to avoid doing that, except for right at the end.
Yeah. You want those arms going kind of straight back and forth versus
Yep.
side to side. I know a lot of times if my girls are guys as well aren't dropping their hands enough, kind of running with their elbows out, I say you're not going to get
Yep.
hit by anyone. There's no
Yep.
soccer ball coming at you. You're
And as-
free to have full range of
As
motion.
we are aware that your feet will follow your hands. So if your hands are moving fast, that means that your feet will be turning over fast. So the slower your arms move, the slower your legs and feet move. Heat 6, we should have Ashley from Raymond, Isabel from Oyster River, Alenthara from Pelham, Kendall from Conval, Lara from Guilford, and Lisa from Goffstown. So nearly halfway through the heats of girls in the 200.
Not bad as we get another good start coming around the corner. Of course, you want to be leaning into that corner slightly as we are seeing these girls naturally
Yep.
do so.
You want to take advantage of that centripetal force.
And it does look like lane
Lane 3,
three.
yeah, that is
Pelham.
Alenthara from Pelham.
So she's looking up at the
31,
clock,
32,
hoping to get one of those good times.
just about her PR. 32 and change. Up next, we are at the halfway point, 7 of 14 heats. We have Shay from Guilford, Liliana from Monadnock, Riley from Guilford, Savannah from Pembroke, Becca from Somersworth, and McKenna from Goffstown.
Slight breeze starting to kick up a little bit.
Yeah.
Looks like it might have some darker clouds coming as well, but we'll see what edge of it we get.
The wind should dry the track out a little bit and make,
It does look
make
a
the
bit
footing
drier.
a little bit easier. Yeah, a little bit better.
And this wind will be slightly at their back, although it keeps changing direction on me
Yeah.
as soon as I say that.
So we can see the Nashua North invite is all wrapped up.
Yeah, they've been done for an hour or two.
Have they?
I think Mike Smith, who's doing some race commentary, sent me a message probably like an hour after they were done, and that was an hour ago.
Yeah, okay.
So happy to have some coverage down at Nashua today.
Yep.
I've got some interviews going on. I think we actually had a couple of seniors helping us out with that, junior and a senior actually. So
Okay.
I'm excited to watch some of those interviews. As we see
Having
this,
having done that the first year, I can say I'm very glad to pass that off to some of the younger people.
Yeah, interviews they haven't been my most favorite of positions. Some people enjoy it. I don't mind it, but it's not the first thing I'm looking to do.
So it looked like we had Liliana and Savannah going 1 and 2 in that heat.
Of course, Dave, you and I were the first interviewers
We
back
were
for
back in the
cross
day.
country before New Hampshire Track and Field had existed. It was just us.
Correct. It was New Hampshire cross country only. We did not
Yep.
have the
And
sister site yet.
another good start. And of course, with that, no one had heard of us. So
Nope.
the
It was
two of
awkward.
us
It was very awkward
Yes.
approaching kids and interviewing
approaching
them
the
before
high schoolers.
before the
Hey,
Black Bear Invitational.
can I get an interview from you? And them being like, who the heck
Who
are
are
you?
you? Yeah.
So
Now we have Ashley from Oyster River in this heat, Patricia from Somersworth, Kaylee from Pelham, Kayla from Conval, Eliza from Derryfield, and Ava from Goffstown.
couple empty lanes, but we do have a decent battle between 1 and 6 as
So
6
that's
takes it.
McKenna. Ava and Patricia going 1 and 2. Ava and Ashley going 1 and 2. Yeah, we were trying to explain to, I believe one of them was Cam Daly, and the other was Patrick O'Brien, trying to convince them that they should talk to us.
Yeah, that we weren't some just weird.
Yeah, right. Some weird adult who's asking them to talk in front of a camera. So things have gotten a little different, and I think the athletes definitely recognize us now, and are much more willing to talk to us, or at least talk to the athletes who we have interviewing them.
So one of the first was Cam Daly. Did you say that?
Might have been Ian, his brother.
Oh, Ian.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, I think it was Ian Daly.
Because of course I believe. I think Ian has helped us once or twice on a crew.
I believe he has as well.
I know one of the two of them have.
Well, is Cam older than which one's the
I
older
was
one?
originally thinking Cam was older, but now you have me second guessing it.
Yeah, I'll have to check out Lancer. I know Patrick O'Brien was one of them.
Yeah,
but he was only a sophomore that year. And there was a boy from Kingswood that we interviewed too, Hunter.
So this section coming down the straightaway now. We've got a
Seat
full
9.
section.
Got Maxine from Hopkinton, Bailey from Raymond, Sarah from Lebanon, Caitlin from Pembroke, Sophia from Sanborn, and Sharol from Merrimack Valley, who is in first place and will win Heat 9.
Yeah, pretty close. That one was probably the closest heat we've seen so far.
Yep.
Expect more of the same. And of course, all of those older interviews, they are up on the
They
YouTube
are
page.
archived. Yes, they are.
I don't think I've taken any of them down. However, I might have wanted to. So maybe I'll go check that out while this video is uploading. But yeah, we've come a long way since then.
And I don't know if you know all the backstory behind where the page originated, but it was inherited by Tim Cox from Larry Martin as the cross-country
Coach's newsletter. Yep.
It was a weekly publication back in the old days when things were done on paper.
Good start.
Here we have Heat 10, Zoe from Conval, Liz from Campbell, Callie from Derryfield, Eliana from Interlakes, Megan from Hopkinton, and Emma from Hanover. And the first year, we did it as a wiki space.
I remember that.
And it was a subscription base. We gave coaches passwords to log in, and it was kind of an overall disaster. I think the coaches enjoyed, all the articles and everything, but it was really hard to administer.
Yes.
From a standpoint of updating all of the, everything was static, and we had to, everything was done manually. We had, literally scanned results to PDFs. So it wasn't actually all that much more efficient than putting out a paper newsletter. And then the following year, we bought the rights to the New Hampshire Cross Country.com and really never looked back.
Another start. This is section number
11. We've got 4 more heats, 3 after this. Isabel from Co-Brown, Chloe from John Stark, Maisie from Plymouth, Catherine from Plymouth, Lizzie from Kingswood, and Brianna from John Stark. And then when we added the video and the commentary, we just kind of took it to a whole new level.
Yeah, I knew right away that when we started doing those interviews, interviews weren't really for me. I know you originally were putting together a couple race videos, and then I think I took a stab at one, and
I got a couple of them banned by YouTube because I was using copyrighted music.
Yes.
So I think the first 3 they let go, like because that's what you're allowed. And beyond that, then they start taking your videos and blocking them.
Yes, I appreciate that. Having inherited that YouTube page, I now have no strikes left. Thank you, Dave Zink.
Well, you wouldn't need them, right? Because you would never do anything
No.
against their terms of service.
No, they'll just mute it, so it's okay now. But no, so we moved from. I know once I started taking over the race videos, we were able to keep growing, adding more angles. We kept going with the music, but really the music was such a headache for me.
Yeah.
As we see section 12 out there now.
Sydney from Monadnock, Abigail from Hanover, Tabitha from Merrimack Valley, Maddie from Co-Brown, Lena from White Mountain, and Gabriella from Sanborn.
So then after the music headache was too much, we tried commentating one
the
race.
The trouble was they liked, like there were lots of positive comments about the music being matched up to the running.
Right.
Because it makes it more exciting.
Oh,
but
yeah.
then when the videos are blocked because you're using copyrighted music, then people get a little bit upset because they can't watch your videos anymore.
Yeah, I still, every once in a while, I'll get a message that says, hey, where's this video? And I go looking for it, and it has been blocked because the music company changed their policies since then. But, no, so we moved to commentary for cross-country, and that started
And we just avoid that problem altogether.
Yeah, I think it started going pretty well, and what was cool about it, too, is all of a sudden we had camera people who were also more knowledgeable of the sport and able to follow it more.
Yeah, we've taken into the service of the 2 websites some pretty knowledgeable people. We have some former, parents of former athletes who've come on board, who just through their experience, having attended meets for so long, they know what's going on. And we've also gotten a number of athletes, former athletes.
Coming on to the straightaway now.
We have Mia Averill coming off her 400 win, Madison, Mabel, Elizabeth, and Savannah. So Averill Prack from Kearsarge is the 400-meter winner.
Looks like Oyster River.
That is Mia from Oyster River, who's going to win that heat. Yep.
Yeah, I tell you, as a sprinter, I wouldn't know most of the cross-country runners' names, but now I know a good chunk of them, especially those up front.
Yeah.
And it makes the sport easier for me to follow. I have more of an invested interest in it, and even now, if I'm not commentating on the race, just the commentary of watching the races, it really helps me as a fan.
Yep.
And, of course, as the sprinter, cross-country was never my favorite of sports. So basically what happened is one year I had enough of it, and I bought and started building New Hampshire Track and Field. I think we ended up going over to, a month or 2 later, we ended up going over to your house with Tim Cox and kind of polished it up and made it into something somewhat presentable.
Yep.
And that's all because I was a sprinter, jumper,
and by that point we had established the cross country name for a couple of years. So,
all right, we got our fastest heat now.
Here it is. There's the money heat. Jaina from Stevens, Haley from Conant, Devin from Oyster River, Gwyneth from Pelham, Ella from Hanover, and Tara from Plymouth, and Devin McLean
about 26, 27,
fairly handily.
Yeah, she's
Yep.
been pretty dominant in terms of the sprinting world at most
Yep.
of these meets.
That's her second win of the day. Also winning the 100-meter dash earlier this morning. Yeah, so when we brought the sister site on board, it had already built up a bit of a following. I remember those early days, like we would literally sit and watch all the statistics and figure out how many people had watched, had opened up each page, and that was how we were kind of tailoring our content, was what people were really interested in viewing, and it was the videos, it was the commentary, and it was the results.
And the
Not
biggest,
surprisingly.
the biggest one would be the pictures as well. And we've had Dave Scannell
Yep.
along with us the whole time with that. He does the majority of our
Well,
pictures.
volume-wise, pictures outnumber everything else
Yes.
by at least 1,000 to 1.
Tyler Hebert.
Yeah, I'm not making 1,000 race videos. It's
No.
not happening. So we do have our first heat
First
of
boys
the
heat.
boys.
Yep. This is, let's see. There's only 3 names on this list, so we have obviously condensed these 2 heats. So not sure who that was. That is a Dairyfield athlete, so he was in heat 3.
So we're probably
So
cleaning up
we've
these
condensed
three
a few
sections.
heats. That's good to see.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. We do have a few trainers out there.
Yeah.
in
So we
terms
had
of
a White
shoes.
Mountain, we had a Monadnock, we had a Conval, a Dairyfield, and another. So I don't know at what point we will start matching correctly the runners in the heats.
So we have our second heat now of what was
So,
17, but
yep.
definitely going to be less now, one would imagine.
This is probably a combination of heats 3 and 4. Let's see, a Kearsarge runner, or is that Pelham?
I believe that's Pelham.
That's Pelham. That's
I've got a-
probably Jared.
Pelham in 3, a Guilford
Yep.
in 1.
And there's a Merrimack Valley.
In
That's
4.
Tim. That's a Brady.
So Pelham
Eric.
and
maybe?
then MV.
And there was
1,
Guilford
2.
in there. Aiden. So our meet program may be completely useless to us for this event until we probably get to, let's say, maybe the last 3 or 4
Attention all
heats.
athletes. Attention all athletes. Girls,
Should be-
3,200 meter. Girls, 3,200 meter. Please
The
check
last
in
2 or 3 heats should be fairly
32.
similar to what we have here. It's like in our girls 32, we've got several of the top 6 or 8 girls doubling back. Rachel Hurley's already had a race today. Addison Cox has already had a race today. Layla Trummel's already had a race today. Jenna Beers has already had a race today.
Cassie Hemmings already had a race.
Yep. So most of these runners, and on the boys' side, same thing.
Oh,
most
yeah.
of these guys are coming back for a second race.
They'll be doubling as we do see another heat of the boys now. Again, not quite sure who we have out there, but I
So,
know Lebanon is in lane
Conant
1 and Conant in lane 2
Sticks out,
because
yeah.
of their jerseys.
Yep.
It looks like in lane 3,
It's like Andre from Lebanon and Hunter from Conant.
White
And
Mountains.
that's Ben Clinch from Co-Brown.
He might have stolen the win there. That came down to the lean.
Yep.
And then Ben was originally in heat
Supposed to
number
be in heat
4.
4.
So we might be somewhat on track at this point. Not quite, because yeah, some Conant in there. So we're still
we
all
should-
shuffled around.
We should start to see the heats go back to their original seed point.
Another indication of that too would be taking a look at the clock as they
Yep.
finish. The section 5 times are all right around that 29.5 mark.
Yep.
Give or take 29 to 29.5. As we have
Let's
another
see.
good start.
Another Conant athlete
Nice to
wearing
see.
that distinctive orange.
Yep, nice to see. Not a whole lot of false starts today. Of course, I just jinxed it. I apologize to whoever's in the next heat. That one's on me.
So that's Andrew from Co-Brown.
So some of these matching up,
Guilford.
some not.
Sanborn, Raymond
That might have
Conant.
been Brady from Raymond. Ooh. Conant had a nice little fall roll, stands up, gives the crowd a nice little thumbs up, lets them know that he's okay. It was a nice little move. Pretty stylish from Conant there.
Yeah. So rather than trying to give you names ahead, we'll just call it as we see it.
And again, we're okay with not quite knowing who, because it means they reseeded. Try and speed things along. Hopefully, beat that next
Next
band
wave,
of showers.
Precipitation.
Yeah, those clouds keep getting darker and darker, but we'll see what comes this way. Wind has dropped a little bit since last time I commented on it.
Still see there's probably 6 or 7 heats worth out there still.
So in this heat, I see another Conant, another Lebanon.
Lebanon, they
The jerseys,
stand out. They stand out.
couple greens. I'm assuming one of those is Brady with the gold letters.
Yep, there's a Brady and there's a Pembroke and a Conval
Oh,
and
yeah.
White Mountain.
The old school Conval.
Conant Lebanon, number 1 and 2.
It's the jerseys.
It is. Got to run fast if you're wearing orange.
So looking over there now, we can definitely still see a bunch of guys milling around with the 200. Nice fast event. Those guys are kind of standing around more than what I would like as a coach. You definitely want to still kind of
Definitely.
be moving, doing some drills, jogging just a little bit, keeping your body warm. You don't want to overtax it, but you don't want to just hang out either.
Yeah. You want to be sweating when you get to the line.
Yeah, you go to one of the higher level college meets. It could be 80, 90 degrees out. You'll still see some of the athletes in full pants and jackets with the hood on, just keeping themselves warm in that way.
Yep.
Do you see another heat now?
One of the actual most important things about getting ready for a race is to get your heart rate elevated. You don't want to have your heart rate at resting when you start your race.
Raymond, Conval, Guilford in here, John Stark, and Hopkinton as well. It does look like Raymond is going to take the win.
Yep.
Close race for second there between Guilford and Conval. I think Conval might have squeezed it out.
Yep.
Hard to tell from where we're standing. I guess we could always move down to the line a little bit, but
It's when your heart rate is elevated, it means that you're going to be getting your oxygen delivered to your muscles that much quicker than if you have to first get your heart rate up and then deliver oxygen. You can delay that anaerobic transition a little bit longer.
of course there is
Stay in the
a lot
aerobic
of
range.
research out there about heart rate and training with heart rate. A lot of good reads that you can, if I'm training individually, I'm going to be paying real close attention to my heart rate. Now, when I have a
Absolutely.
team of 20 or 30, I've tried it before. Gets a little bit harder to do.
It does.
But
It comes down to just how much time do you want to expend in practice and devote to that. Because if you spend, 4 or 5 minutes counting everybody's heart rate, then their heart rate's going to get lower in that time you were trying to measure it.
we got a pretty close race here as well. Looks like John Stark
John
out
Stark,
in lane 6.
Lebanon, Campbell, Interlakes in that order. And like so many things in athletics, track and field is really, I think, on the cutting edge of most of this technology and, the science used to
Oh, absolutely.
help exercise, exercise science. Track and field's really on the cutting edge of that.
Well, I mean, it's essentially the root of all sports.
It
We've got
is.
the running, jumping, the throwing. You can find skills from pretty much all sports here at track and field. As we see another good start. These guys taking a little bit longer to get upright. That tells me that our times are definitely starting to get a bit faster as
Yep.
they have an extended drive phase.
See a lot more arm movement.
Nice full heat. I see a Conval, a West, another John Stark in there. A
Yep.
couple from MV as
Campbell.
well as St. Thomas, who looks like they are winning this right now, and
Yep.
they do cross in first. Was that Campbell, not John Stark?
Yeah,
Campbell,
that is
yep.
Campbell.
Yep. Called it too soon. I just went with red, and I sent it.
Well, you've got a 33% chance if it's red.
Well, I knew it wasn't Cole Brown.
Yeah.
Newmarket's not here, so I won't
Nope.
make any of those mistakes.
So, yep, it's either John Stark, Campbell, or Co Brown. Now with the blue, you've got a little bit less of a percentage, a little bit less chance of getting it right. Same with the green, particularly with Monadnock, Pembroke, and Hanover. Until you can get a good sense of what letters are across the chest.
And then you got Raymond and Hopkinton. However,
That's right.
they each have the one letter, so those stand out a
Yeah.
little bit more. Those I can tell a little bit earlier than the others as we see yet another good start.
Bishop Brady has the yellow lettering, so even if you can't read it, you can see.
Oh, yeah.
that
It
it's
does
yellow.
look like we have
For example, that is a
West,
Brady, Brady athlete
Raymond,
right there.
West, Campbell, and Kennett in this one.
2 West athletes.
Yep. So 2 Wests, a Brady, a Raymond, a Campbell, and a Kennett, as we do see West in lane 6 taking it, followed by West. So West and West.
And West.
I have no idea how many heats we've seen at this point. We'll see if we're somewhat close to back on track. If we can hopefully recognize 1 or 2 athletes, we might be able to narrow it down. Looks like we're probably around 12 or 13 in. Think it's still a mix-up in these, so hopefully we'll have it right for our last couple.
So we can see that the New Hampshire Cross Country website goes back.
2013.
2013 was the inaugural year.
Good start. This section looks like we have a Cole Brown off to a good start. Bishop Brady. Merrimack's in there. Conant's in there. Merrimack Valley, that is. And West is in there as well. West making up that stagger.
Lane 6 is empty.
And it looks
So
like
it's going to be
Conant.
Conant,
Conant MV.
Merrimack Valley, 1 and 2. So it indeed was Cam Daly. It was not Ian Daly.
I knew it.
Cam is the older one. Well, that was the name I gave originally. I said Cam and then corrected myself incorrectly.
Incorrectly.
Yeah, so it was Cam and Patrick O'Brien. Patrick might have been a freshman that year, actually.
I feel like he was.
Attention all athletes, girls javelin flights 4 and 5. Girls javelin 4 and 5.
Gun is up. The
Please
start is
check
good.
it this time.
Yep, Patrick was indeed a freshman that year.
Starting to blend for you, huh?
Yeah, that is.
Looks like we have a Guilford and a Lebanon in here. I see Kearsarge, Pembroke. That might be a Derryfield. And then a Goffstown as well. Goffstown out in 6.
Yep, Kearsarge is going to take first, Guilford second.
Royal Blue with
Somewhat
the,
difficult to tell their uniforms apart. Both having yellow on the chest.
I think Guilford
stands out a little bit more. That year we also interviewed Eli Moskowitz, Jeremy Broussard. Let's see, that would have been
Hannah Parker would have been right around that time as
yeah,
well.
and Liz, who now works for
That's right. Liz
New
Danis.
Hampshire track and field and New Hampshire cross country.
And is currently going to UNH. Just
Yep.
transferred in this year. Talked about her a little bit. She's been nice enough to do some write-ups for the site about transitioning from high school to college, as well as transferring in college
Yep.
and kind of starting all over again.
We
So-
also talked to Liam Kimball, who has come and
That's right.
commentated for us
Yes.
since. Justin Carbone